Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, this is the sorry reality of Pakistan. It has been mocked and derided as Terroristan so far, but now it is turning into Beggaristan. Yes, that's right, Beggaristan. Begging for Pakistan is no longer a habit. It has become a survival trait. They can't do without it. It's not just something they do, it's something that they have now turned pro in. They're professional beggars now. And it's not me saying it. No. That is Pakistan's own defense minister who says that begging has become a lucrative profession in Pakistan. Pakistan's own prime minister, Shehbaz Sharif, says that he too hangs his head in shame when he has to go out to the world with a begging bowl in hand. Selling the country for its money. That is what Beggaristan has been reduced to, and yes, it is perhaps linked to how its Terroristan has bankrupted the future of Pakistan. This is the sorry state of Pakistan, but it is the reality. Pakistan is now too poor to not beg. Pakistan is too poor to fight. It is too poor to win a war against India. It's too poor to boycott India. And even on the cricketing pitch, Pakistan is too poor to say it won't fight and play against India. In short, it's too poor to have self-respect. Let's tell you why. Well, in distress, this is what Khwaja Asif, Pakistan's own defense minister, has admitted to in his post. He says, and I quote him here, that begging has evolved into a fully organized profession. It is run by contractors who recruit children and women posing as disabled, earning millions of rupees in the process. Khwaja Asif has also alleged that the same networks were responsible for sending thousands of beggars to Gulf countries, forcing host nations, their own alliance partners he is talking about, forcing host nations frustrated by the situation to restrict or suspend visas for Pakistanis. The defense minister has further claimed that officials from various government departments stationed at airports were complicit in this disgraceful behavior, benefiting financially from the illegal activity. This is the truth about Beggaristan, and its own defense minister Khwaja Asif has said this, not me. In fact, viewers, this is not just the end of it. It is not only their defense minister who's highlighted the begging prowess, how now begging has become a profession in Pakistan. In fact, let's remind you, just a few days back, their own prime minister, Shehbaz Sharif, has said that he and Asim Munir have to bow their heads in shame when they pull out their begging bowls in front of the IMF, in front of other nations like America. Well, that's right. Pakistan is morally and financially corrupt. There is loans, debt, humiliation for Beggaristan. None of them sends more tremors anymore. Red lines were crossed long time back. Limits have erased. Even earlier, from bailouts to begging bowls, embarrassment has become routine. So spare us the bravado, the boycott threats, which Pakistan has been given to India when it comes to the T20 World Cup. Let me give you Pakistan a reality check. The actual position of Pakistan. Pakistan's external debt is that of $130 billion. We are putting these numbers, big numbers, on your screens. Pakistan's forex reserve, look at that. It is 18 billion, just enough for 2 months of imports. That's it, 2 months of imports. After that, it will go bankrupt. It doesn't have any more forex reserves with it. In fact, Moody's, the agency, has said Pakistan cannot afford a war. The latest loan that Pakistan has taken, the latest one right now, it has taken, has been that of $1.2 billion to try and dig it out of its bankruptcy hole. But viewers, let's give you the content of what Pakistani government has put out on social media. Remember, Pakistan had come out full bravado, guns blazing against India, saying in solidarity with Bangladesh, they are going to boycott India, not play with India. Can they afford to? Simple answer, no, they never could afford to. So they put up this big song and dance about holding meetings with the Bangladesh Cricket Board, about holding meetings with the ICC, saying that they are going to boycott India, won't play with India, as if they can afford to do that. But finally, what happened? A big U-turn. Yesterday, the PCB had to come out, officially admit that this is going to be an embarrassment. How do they hide that embarrassment? Well, they hide it behind this statement where they say, yes, now we are ready to play with India at the T20 World Cup, because they simply cannot afford to. As a face saver, this is what they have said, that we are agreeing to play T20 World Cup match on the 1st of February in Colombo. Pakistan notes concerns of Bangladesh and Sri Lanka that it will play against India on the 15th of February. Why grandstand when you could not afford to boycott India in the first place? Anyway, the PCB has said that the call has been taken after wide consultations it had happened. Decision was taken to protect cricket spirit, not because they were too bankrupt to boycott India, but to save cricket. Pakistan has agreed to now play India. Well, it's up to you, the viewers, to decide. Listen it to how the mighty have fallen. We are calling it mighty because right before this, you had Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif coming out and saying that Pakistan will boycott India at World T20, after which they said, now we will play India. Well, there's a saying, a very famous saying, and it says, wait for it, that beggars can't be choosers. That this is the reality of Pakistan, where you have the Prime Minister holding a begging bowl. This is the reality of Pakistan, that beggars cannot be choosers. You have it there. This applies for Pakistan. They simply cannot afford to boycott India, nor can they let go of the ICC revenue. Let's tell you why this decision to play India was not to try and save cricket. It is to save itself. Well, this is what Pakistan would have to lose if they chose not to play India. Financial stakes. What were the financial stakes? $34.5 million in revenue share was at risk if Pakistan dared to boycott India. Broadcaster may claim that there is $36 million losses which is going to happen if that were to happen. So they simply cannot afford to do that. Sporting impact is that India will have to get a walkover and they would have gotten 2 additional points. So even in a sporting arena, they would have lost out. Financial stake, again, going back to the financial stake, the broadcaster may claim about $36 million losses. Broadcasting rights would have been a big nightmare as well, because remember, every 10-second ad rate, which is the revenue per ad for 10 seconds, is anywhere between 25 to 40 lakhs. But of course, when it comes to cricketing as well, Pakistan's net run rate takes a severe hit, and that is another thing they simply cannot afford. Future ICC hosting rights would have been at risk if Pakistan dared to boycott India at the World T20. Also, for the broadcasters, the top ad slots would have fetched up to 60 lakh rupees. Again, something Pakistan can't afford to forego. When it comes to sporting impact, it is possible that future T20 World Cup bans may happen on Pakistan. Again, something that Mohsin Naqvi, that Shehbaz Sharif, the Asim Munirs of Pakistan simply cannot afford to turn down the money. There is another reason that why Professional Beggaristan, as it is being called, went ahead with their match against India. They have learned their lessons from the 2025 Champions Trophy. Let's remind you what had happened yesterday, because the numbers do all the talking here. During 2025 Champions Trophy, India, remember, had played in Dubai and not in Pakistan. India boycotted Pakistan, saying we will not go to Pakistan to play our matches. What was the outcome of that? There was a 869 crore rupees loss for Pakistan because India did not go to Pakistan. That's the damage. Other countries went, India did not go. India boycotted Pakistan. Then again, during the 2025 Champions Trophy, because Pakistan wanted to host it, Pakistan, the PCB, had been forced to take a loan. The loan was to upgrade the infrastructure for Champions Trophy. Of course, India didn't go, but some of the other nations went. But what was the outcome of that? There was an audit which was done. Embarrassing enough for Pakistan, that audit found that there was corruption worth $21 million. Going back to the point, Pakistan has been morally and financially corrupt. Too corrupt to even afford self-dignity. Let me go across to our panelists. Today joining us on the show, we have Lalit Ambardar, an activist, joining us live from Delhi. Dr. Atikur Rahman is joining us. He's a professor of international relations. Thank you so much, Dr. Rahman, for joining us here on the show. Really appreciate it. I know it's not going to be easy for you, and my sympathies to you because you are unfortunately across the border. Not your fault, but that is something that the Janta of Pakistan has to endure. Coffers being drained because all the money is going into terror. No money for any infrastructure, no money for rise for basic necessities. Unfortunately, no money even for dignity. How do you live in that nation, Dr. Rahman?
I live with high dignity, with high spirits, especially after the Operation Sindoor, something like that. So I can realize and feel your pain emerging from the.
But you lost Operation Sindoor. Moody's, the international agency, says Pakistan cannot afford a fight.
Yes,
I'm surprised that after Operation Sindoor, you are taking pride in your nation. But okay.
My argument. Let me complete my argument. On the other hand, while having conversation in your program and listening, the way you were narrating my country, and it was more exciting than watching a Bollywood movie. And
but it's based on facts. Look at that. If you can deny anything, I challenge you, Dr. Rahman. You're a man of academics. If you can deny anything which is there on our screen, please do that. Deny that your chief minister, your prime minister said this. Deny your defense minister said it. Deny these figures on our screens if you can do that.
I don't know, Meghna, are you a part of discussion panelist or you are the anchor of this program? So whatever you are, let me clear my position. Last night I have cleared the position of my country, another program on the same channel. That's by announcing the playing of a match. We just sent a clear message in the region to all our neighboring countries and everyone in the region that cricket is purely as part of the sports diplomacy. So let's keep cricket spared from this dirty politics.
Well, apparently even internet isn't too good in Pakistan. I can barely hear you. We'll try and get that fixed, Lalit Ambardar. Till then, we'll get this fixed. The internet connection not too good, I believe, in Islamabad. So, Lalit Ambardar, let me come to you. Do you think what I believe even Dr. Rahman is trying to say, that they are ready to now play India to save cricket and the spirit of cricket, not to save themselves from bankruptcy?
I think you put it very aptly when in the beginning you said it was a bravado, and we have to go into the roots of it. They wanted to show pan-Islamism inspired solidarity with so-called Muslim Bangladesh, and you know that's the biggest fraud they have been playing on the Muslim world. They were trying to show be the custodians of Islamic solidarity in the globe, but they are the biggest betrayers. They betrayed their mother India in August 1947 in the name of Islam and found Pakistan, and then they killed General Ziaul Haq. He was a brigadier in Jordan army, deputed with the Jordan army, and he killed 20,000 Palestinian refugees, not even combatant Palestinians. Palestinian refugees in Jordan. He was responsible, that massacre was responsible for creation of a Black Septemberist terror group. And then in very Bangladesh, in 1971, they executed one of the most brutal genocidal massacres of the last century in 1971 against then their own, who were their own East Pakistani Muslims. Of course, the barbarity was more towards Hindus or East Pakistan, but nevertheless, Muslims of East Pakistan suffered equally, no, if not more. So, and then now they want to sell arms in Middle East. You know who they are selling to? They are selling to Libya. You know why? For what? Because Muslims will be killing Libyan Muslims. They are selling arms to Sudanese faction so that Sudanese Muslims kill Muslims of very Sudan. That is their Islamic sentiment. And about this begging bowl, what can be more explicit expression of lowering of their own dignity when their own prime minister says that I have to lower my head every time I extend my hand for support or loan or for begging bowl to,
Yes.
like you put it right here, the begging bowl to
Absolutely.
the foreigners. This is what they...
I believe, sorry to interrupt you, Lalit Ambardar, Dr. Rahman is back with us. Dr. Rahman, if you can hear me now, as even Lalit was saying, is Pakistan now too poor to even have self-respect? Morally corrupt, but now even financially corrupt.
We know to self-respect, and we know that we do not need any dictation from anyone. We know to
You take dictation from your own Prime Minister, right? You agree to what your Prime Minister says? He said it. You agree to what your Defense Minister says? Professor Rahman?
And presently, you can see even the United States. I mean, you should see yourself the way you are just promoting your diplomacy. You are just, exporting your intelligence community in the diplomatic cover. I mean, you have seen the example in Canada.
What
where
diplomacy
you people
you are
just
talking about?
violate.
Lalit Ambardar was saying, what are you talking about? Because your signal is too poor. Maybe your Pakistani government can fix that. Fix the internet there. But that aside, it makes no sense what you are saying. I'm sorry. You are an academic. Can you talk on facts?
Just tell me what
diplomacy you are talking about? You gave birth to Taliban of
the diplomatic mess in Canada,
now
and the way the government is funded. I have written an article. Just Google it. I'm from academia. I'm expressing my opinion on these bullshit created by you people. So I'm doing that. So I'm from academia.
I understand your frustration. You are using unparliamentary words.
One country you are in.
I'm sorry that you are using unparliamentary words. I would have said I want to mute your fader for using abuses on air. But again, I forgive you. After all, you're living in Pakistan. You have bigger problems in life. I can understand your frustration coming out. But in India, we don't use that kind of profane language on national television. I'm sorry to say that. I can't even say I'm going to mute your mic because unfortunately there's anyways no audio coming in your internet. But Lalit Ambardar, how do you respond to that? It's hard to have a discussion with anyone in Pakistan. We can barely hear them. But that's become the state of their global standing. No one listens to them. No one hears them.
See, Pakistan is founded on the basis of hatred for Hindus and India, and that is the kind of opium they have been feeding their own poor Pakistanis all these 70 years. Hate India, hate Hindus if you want to keep the Pakistan alive. In today's time, Balochistan is on the verge of, they already declared independence. Pakhtun are almost on the verge of calling their own independence, right?
Blaming India is the only cause.
Shias in Pakistan are being targeted.
Professor Atikur Rahman, do you think, let's throw this solution in the air. Do you think if Pakistan shuns terror, a lot of its problems would be solved? Financially, you would not be so cash-strapped if you stop funding terror.
The 7 states, the Nagaland people, they have declared their independence. The Nagaland people, they have declared, you can see that, they have declared their independence. And the 7 states, they are suffering. They are suffering from massive human rights violations carried out by people. And when you are mentioning,
come on, Atikur Rahman, I'm asking you a simple question. Will Pakistan stop funding terror? If Pakistan stops funding terror, you may have had the choice to grandstand against India saying we are going to boycott India on the cricketing pitch. Why couldn't you boycott India on the cricketing pitch? Because you have no money.
And you can see the Christian community is also suffering. So we have witnessed.
Yes, they are. All communities are suffering in Pakistan. That is the truth.
Yeah.
Take a look within. Look what's happened with Balochistan. Look what's happening in POK. Look what happens when you harbor snakes in your backyard. Today, Pakistan, and I have sympathy with the people who are living there, because that is what their leaders have reduced them to: morally corrupt and now bankruptcy, even when it comes to their finances. So I'm not angry with you, Dr. Atikur Rahman. I sympathize with you and the other people. And the memes that have been going on in Pakistan against their own leadership, well, that itself is reflective. We are going to end with the memes which have been coming out on your screens. You can see them. Shehbaz Sharif, Pakistan, reduced to being a beggar. Beggars cannot be choosers. Let's leave it there. Thank you so much, Lalit Ambardar. Dr. Atikur Rahman, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Without a short break.